Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying the almost the 4th of July. And today we're going to be going over Rakdos Aggro. And this is a different build. This is largely just for my exploration. I'm not sure it's actually better than the version running the Slickshot Show-off. So on Monday, the one that I was talking about, this is going back 2 weeks. So this is the list that I was talking about on week 10 of Outlaws of Thunder Junction. And I feel like I haven't really gotten a chance to explore it fully yet. And it's leaning quite a bit more heavily on the Picnic Ruiner. So we are running the third copy of the Mirren Bane Splitter to be able to give this 4 power. We're bringing in the Fugitive Codebreaker for Dig. The list that I talked about on Monday was talking about was using Felden. The other thing too is I'm running 4 copies of the Blazing Crescendo and just 1 Antagonize, and this also gives us more Dig. So the other thing too is 4 copies of the Callous Sellsword. It is unfortunate to get multiples of these, but it's also unfortunate when you don't have the option to get the turn 3 Fling. So kind of a give and take there. Could be running a Sokenzon, deciding not to, running 1 Sulphurous Springs for the black mana. And then the Case of the Crimson Pulse also gives us some dig, similar to the Blazing Crescendo. And I haven't actually done the disguise for the Fugitive Codebreaker. Most of the time, if I do have the opportunity to disguise it, I haven't actually played enough spells to get this to flip. So really, this is just coming in as a prowess creature. The upside to this archetype is, of course, that the games are quick. And relatively looks like it's going to be relatively okay, in my opinion, for the rotation. We are going to lose the Kumano Faces Kakazan, which is going to hurt a little bit, but I don't think it's going to eliminate mono red as an archetype. So part of it is I'm just trying to get as many reps in while we still have Kumano Faces Kakazan, because I really do enjoy the aggro space. So with that, I'll showcase some of my favorite games from this little sesh, and please enjoy. All right, our opponent has the play. Boo. And we have a Monastery Swiftspear, Monstrous Rage, and 2 Blazing Crescendos. So if they have an answer to Swiftspear, we're going to be in trouble. But if they don't have an answer to Swiftspear, then we might be able to draw off the Blazing Crescendo. And this looks like we're up against Temur Control, the Temur Landfall deck, which should be in this deck's favor. Depends on how many copies of the instant that they're running, the Fires of Victory. So they did go get red, which makes me nervous. There's no way they block here with Shigeki. So we get the dig off of Blazing Crescendo. It's okay that we can't play it yet because it's until the end of our next turn. So just doing this to get some options. So next turn we're going to do the Fugitive Codebreaker and then Monstrous Rage. They will likely cycle the Shigeki back to their hand. So the nice thing about Monstrous Rage is the trample. If they do block with the Shigeki and bounce it, then we can trample through. And they need 2 mana to be able to do that, so they have that online. And we could choose to do the Monstrous Rage if they block. If they don't block, we could do the Bane Splitter. And they're going to be holding up priority because of Shigeki, so they may not have the instant. If they go to block with Shigeki, we cast the instant, and then they kill it with the Fires of Victory instead. That's where we get 2 for 1. And so since they did go for the block, we'll go for the trample damage, assuming they're going to bounce. Alright. So, that's pretty good. They did find a Fires of Victory. Alright, down to 9 life. Now, their best bet here is probably the ill-timed explosion, because I do not have any creatures in hand. So if they do that, then I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, okay. So it's possible, well no, so if I let the Codebreaker just go, I would have also ended up in the same situation if I had just pumped up the Swiftspear. So we just need to try to rebuild, so hopefully we draw a threat. And this version is not running any direct burn, so... Off by a turn, okay. Alright, going for World Soul's Rage to face for X equals 4. Gives them some life gain, some stabilization. Makes sense. Gives them more ramp. And we're going to need to draw a threat soon here, or it is all over. And this is where the advantage of the Slickshot and the Feldon come into play, is the haste, right? We do have the Felonious Rage, so we can hit for a fair amount of damage with a Picnic Ruiner, Felonious Rage into Banesplitter. Slightly just out of lethal range, actually, with Callous Sellsword, right? Either way, it hits for 12. Okay, so we basically are out of this. This is the turn that they likely pop off here past the point of being able to beat them. Honestly, if you're really saving time, we could have probably scooped on the ill-timed explosion. We didn't want to try to get a top deck here, because now if they have a blocker, it's even more life that we have to get through. And this deck my opponent's playing is one of the decks that I covered in the meta review on Monday. Usually you see it more in best of 3 than you do in best of 1, because it can struggle against that early pressure, but they are running the version that has multiple fires of victory, which helps. And then the Sky Turtle, I think, helps against the Boros Convoke matchup. So it's a pain to play in paper because you have to keep track of all of the triggers, but without it being in, just playing out like this, it's Arena, one of the advantages to Arena, just being able to track all of the triggers here. As you'll see, this is a real pain to keep track of in paper. I tried a version of Temur Control that was running the Galvanic iteration and Light Up the Night to try to make it better against mono red. I actually haven't really played a lot of it since Prowess became more popular, so it's possible that it's better against Prowess because of being able to shoot the Slickshot Show-offs and the Picnic Ruiners. But our chance to win this game was to beat them on turn 3. They haven't won yet. This is another one that a lot of people don't like playing against, like Azorius Control, because you have to sit through 1,000 triggers. And if you have an opponent who's really slow at it, they can actually run out of time trying to go through all of their triggers. So they got 10 mana here, which is just shy of being able to do the Memory Deluge into a Aftermath Analyst to keep the loop going. So maybe they go Shigeki, return World Soul's Rage. They might have actually had lethal. Let's see. 6. No. It's close. Not quite. Invasion of Arcavios, huh? Haven't seen that one all that often. So we're dead next turn. We have to deal 23 damage in 1 turn, which is not doable. And before we get World Soul's Raged, throwing in the towel. Okay, I am not a fan of the 1 mana keep in this deck. I do feel like if you get stuck on 1, it's pretty bad for tempo. And it always looks really great if you draw a land. but this is an 18 land count, so we're going to throw that one back. And then we have to decide here, so we're going to do Kumano faces Kakazan on turn 1. And then we're going to do Picnic Ruiner on turn 2. And hopefully Blazing Crescendo throw with the Sellsword. So I think I'm going to throw back the Codebreaker. It's a little all-in on one strategy. If they have removal for the Picnic Ruiner, it's not going to be great. But we did need land 3 for Blazing Crescendo Fling. And this is what this build is all about, right? It's like, if they have an answer for Picnic Ruiner, it's just like, GG. And what do we got here? Red-green didn't play anything. Possibly a Gruul ramp deck that's gonna... Oop, yep, Spinewood's Armadillo. So we're looking at Brotherhood's End, most likely. This is a deck that I actually just talked about in the community deck tech for the Naya space. This one looking like just the red-green version. So, yeah, Trumpeting Carnosaur to kill the Picnic Ruiner. Okay. Still think I'm going to hope that they don't have even more removal. Guess we can attack first here. I'd rather get the double strike off of the Picnic Ruiner. Still. Because if we do the Etchings of Kumano plus Blazing Crescendo, it hits them for 10. But we want to end them with our fling. Okay, and then we also have Scamp. It's interesting. Got a Blazing Crescendo into open mana because we need the Picnic Ruiner to have power 4. Okay, then we have to make a choice. Did feel like they have interaction here, so Picnic Ruiner is probably going to die. Sometimes, though, they'll pass damage, trying to get you to do the Monstrous Rage. So Smuggler's Surprise gets back the Trumpeting Carnosaur. If I Callous Sellsword, they go to 3. 2 with the Kumano. Then they shoot the Etchings of Kumano. I think I'm going to go for the Fling. And play out the Kumano faces Kakazan. Okay, they were dead. I think, just to finish out the line, right? Sacrifice the Picnic Ruiner, they go to 3. Play out the Kumano faces Kakazan, they go to 2. Next turn, we play the Scamp with the boost from the Kumano faces Kakazan, and then this deals 2 damage when it dies. So they'd have to gain life back, right? So. Oh no. We have 3 Monstrous Rage, but no creature. I think this one's going to have to be a mulligan. Even though this is like how you get a turn 3 win, you just need to have 1 creature, right? So I don't think I want to go off of a top deck on a creature, though. And we hit into 1 mountain. Alright, this is looking good. Alright, one more time. Alright, I don't like going below a mold of 5, so I guess we're just going to keep a 1-lander and put back 2 cards. This is not great. Alright. So, turn 1 Kumano, that's good. Turn 2, probably 1 Scamp, or the Picnic Ruiner if we hit a land. And then I think I go with the Monstrous Rage over the Blazing Crescendo because we're kind of shy on playables. And this is probably a loss. Oh, and we're up against Orzhov life gain. Alright, well, let's see. Removal check. If they don't have an answer for Picnic Ruiner, there's hope. It does get around the cut down, not the go for the throat or the Bitter Triumph. Deep Cavern Bat probably gets rid of the Monstrous Rage. Alright, we got the Fling. Doesn't get double strike though now. It's still swing. You're gonna gain a fair amount of life back, which is the problem here. Could fling the scamp. Oh. If I fling the scamp, I can kill the Deep Cavern Bat and get my Monstrous Rage back. And pump the Picnic Ruiner. And if I do it now, they don't gain a life. Because then this is 12, 14 damage. That adds up if they don't have anything to almost dead. It's a little bit spewy, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go with... We need something to win this game, right? So I think I'm going to go with... Let's sack the scamp. Kill the bat. We'd had one more mana, we could have done... Okay, so... Monstrous Rage. No removal. No removal, please. Alright, well that's pretty much game then. Mull to 5 and they had the answer. Is there any reason to stick around in this game? They're gaining 3 life for every creature they play. Back up to 18. Just out of curiosity, I'll give it one top deck, but like... Yeah, there's no way that we make it back, right? They're gaining a bunch of cards. Oh, I should have let them block first. Maybe I did. It's been a long day. So now they gain... Wait, they draw 3, lose 3, but then they're gaining 3 every time that they play a creature. The 2 creatures here, they're back up to 16. Oh, Gumdrop Poisoner just removes my guy and then leaves them with a lifelinker. Yeah. This deck is basically designed to destroy mono red, and is looking pretty good. I was actually surprised it wasn't in the meta review on Monday off of the tracker, but it's possible that it just hadn't gotten there yet, because I think it was today. 3 lands, Kumano, and a bunch of Swift Spears. It's acceptable. And we're up against Domain. Could go Swift Spear and then Kumano. But Kumano's so much better the sooner you get it down. But it would have given me more of a prowess trigger. So, right now there's a chance that they have the ley line. I think I'm going to deploy 2 threats instead of doing the Monstrous Rage. Could be wrong. Depends on if they're running the temporary lockdown on 3. Ancient Cornucopia. Okay, so this was the Domain Best of 1 list that I covered on Monday. And this being a new way to gain life as well as ramp over the Topiary Stomper. And I think we just go all in. Doesn't seem like there is a pause here for the Leyline of the Void. Or Leyline Binding. I'm going to go with on the already beefed up Swift Spear because it's the thing that's probably going to push the most damage next turn. And didn't matter. Alright, so turn 4 Sunfall. Could have staggered my threats more and kept some of the Swift Spears in hand. But Cacophony Scamp can carry us across the line if we hit a Blazing Crescendo. And that's why I like the Blazing Crescendo over the Antagonize, is being able to, like in this situation when you're on a top deck. So things are feeling just like they're falling a little bit short, though. Because again, it looks like our opponent's going to gain enough life to stabilize here. And not my luckiest day, at least for now. I can't remember if Roxanne was in the one that I talked about. I know it was in some of the builds. Don't think it was in the meta review on Monday. But it's another one that is included in some builds. Helps you cast your Atraxa sooner. So, let's see, is there anything that I could top deck that would be good next turn? We need something with haste. And we don't have the slick shots, and we don't have the 2/2 that can't block. I'm blanking on the name. So, do we get one more? No, they activate the token and we're just dead. So, GG. Alright, we've got 3 mountains, a Sellsword, Felonious Rage, Monstrous Rage, and Antagonize. Again, we have all of these combat tricks but no threats. I do believe this deck already struggles with, like, if they have an answer to your threats, it kind of can fall apart very quickly. I'll put a mountain back here. Swift Spear into Picnic Ruiner into Pump and Fling. Classic. Throw back land. Oh, timer's going off. These are cool. I like these skin deck sleeves. Alright, we've got a single plains, but no turn 1, so Boros, Convoke, and Mono White humans like to start on turn 1. Makes me wonder if I'm up against Azorius Control. But a mountain here. I think what this signifies is a Resolute Reinforcements off of Boros Convoke. So I'm going to attack here with the Swift Spear. If they did do Resolute Reinforcements and double block the Swift Spear, we could do the Monstrous Rage and then play a Swift Spear of our own. Oh, Lightning Helix. Okay, well, Monstrous Rage saves the Monastery Swift Spear from the Lightning Helix, so let's do that. They were waiting for me to do it first. And then when I didn't do it, they'd assumed it was safe to go for it. This does slow me down a little bit because then I don't get the double strike with the Picnic Ruiner. And this is looking like a Boros Angels list. So this can probably be more control-y. Aha, Giada, Font of Hope. Fire, okay, that's fine. And now we can just go with attack, play the Picnic Ruiner and the Scamp. They're completely tapped out, so there's no way that this is going to be blocked or anything here. And then maybe I'm not supposed to throw out both threats because they could have a board wipe. We shall see. Ah, Vindicator, okay. Well, this is one of the problems with this deck, and the version that I ran before I felt was running a little bit smoother than this one, and this one having a little bit of problem amount of, like, drawing all of your threats and none of your combat spells, or drawing all of your combat spells and not your threats. Because we just can't attack here. And then they've got lifelink. Flying lifelink board 2. So I could fling this and pay it. It's probably what I have to do. Because there's no way I can win if they're there's no way that I can win if they're hitting that lifelink. All right. And then we've got... Ooh, okay, so Felonious Rage. This looks better. Okay, so I think our best chance here is Picnic Ruiner into Felonious Rage. Gives this double strike and this double strike. I don't think I can attack with the Scamp, though. Since they just block here. I guess if they block with the 4/4, then it still deals 1. We block with a 2/2, it trades. So, chump. I guess it's okay to throw here. We put the 4/4 on the 2/2. It trades. They just take the 8 and block the Scamp. That's okay. Alright, well, let's see what their last card is. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Because of the vigilance. So we have to... Dang it! We got a couple of draws here, and of course I'm going to top deck a land, and they're not. Okay, good. Everything's fair in the world. Alright. Bane Splitter means that they're forced to chump. That was huge. Do a pre-combat to get the double strike. Alright. What you gonna draw? Oh, dang it. They drew a chump blocker. I think I hold the Felonious Rage here. Because it doesn't give me trample or anything. Can haste a threat here off the top. And they drew a land. So we win. Okay, opponent's going first. We've got Kumano into Picnic Ruiner, Felonious Rage. What's nice about this hand is that we can go Kumano, Picnic Ruiner, and then if we hit land 3, we can go Picnic Ruiner, Felonious Rage, double strike, double strike. Like, it can pop for a lot. Alright. Monstrous Rage makes it pop for even more. And we'll see, with my least favorite card, it's probably Boros Convoke. Sundown Pass. Alright. Well, Lunarch Veteran does help them gain life. Opponent's on full control. That or I was lagging out. And we hit land 3. Now, we'll have to make a debate here because the Monstrous Rage gives me trample. So we could go all in on the Picnic Ruiner. Kind of depends on if they do Knight Errant of Eos here or if it's just a bunch of 1/1s. Okay, so they're definitely going to try to chump block me. I still think getting the aggro version of the Picnic Ruiner going is better. And then with the double strike, like, they can trade one of my Picnic Ruiners, but they have to give me their whole board. And if Boros is giving me their entire board, then that's good for me. So I think it's Monstrous Rage time, or Felonious Rage time. Save the Monstrous Rage for later. And swing into the Boros Convoke here. This one getting double strike off of the 4 power on this Picnic Ruiner. And they'd go with 0 blocks, which is a little bit alarming, because that means they could just be doing a You're Dead with Imidane's Recruiter. Should have counted it out. I don't think it's going to be lethal. Oh shoot, maybe I should have left one back. 6, 8, 10, 14, 17, 18? I think they're one short. Okay, so they're going to leave back a blocker, which we're just going to Monstrous Rage over. Yeah, whew. I should have calculated that out, but we got lucky. All right, anything to do... Should we do any of this pre-combat? Whatever they block is what we're going to do the Monstrous Rage on. Instant. I think we'll just do this one first. To get something up to the 4 power. And then I just hope that I have enough double strike because I'm being too lazy to count it out. Alright, put the 1/1 on there. Perfect. Monstrous Rage. Fine. I don't think it matters, but we'll just pump the double strikers, and that should be enough to do it. And I played around with getting rid of the Picnic Ruiners or dropping them down to 2, and I do feel like the Picnic Ruiners are better against the Boros Convoke matchup, although it's not supposed to be a very hard matchup for this one anyway, because like they don't have an answer for the Slickshot Show-off either. Okay, we've got it. We've got at least 2 lands, and we've got a threat. So I'm going to keep this one. Don't have removal for my Picnic Ruiner one time. Because I'd really like to actually hit... I'd like to hit a turn 3. This deck does hit turn 3s, and I haven't been able to get one in this little sesh. More Boros Convoke. That should be good for us. And now we've got the Felonious Rage, which is kind of the answer to the deck not having the haste creatures, right? Alright, Novice Inspector into Gleeful Demolition, into Knight Errant of Eos. This is all pretty standard. Dang. Alright, so I can give it 3, 5, 7 damage. So if they don't block the Picnic Ruiner, they're actually dead here. If I remembered to give it double strike before attacking. Oh, it's too late now, right? Whenever Picnic Ruiner attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, there's no way to full control out of this. Okay, so what I was supposed to do is Felonious Rage the Picnic Ruiner pre-combat. See if we can kind of... Is there any way that I can make it back from this? They just block the Kamana, right? Okay, damn it. So they had 23 total life. This would have put them at 21. And I would have been dealing 20. I think we put them at 1 HP if I'd given them the double strike. But since I screwed that up, I guess I'm going to hold my combat tricks for the next turn. And run away in shame? Could do the Monstrous Rage now. That's definitely my bad. Don't do that if you're playing this deck. Remember the pre-combat pump. I wonder if I should have kept the trample on something else. Because now we're just blocked, right? Like, I don't think there's any way that we get through this many blockers. And then the Imidane's Recruiter. That was a punt on my part. It hurts. If I put them to 1, though, I might be in a similar situation where it doesn't really matter. Okay. The 2/2 being held back I don't think will matter. Let's see. So all this is attacking me for 2, plus the 3 from the Emidane's Recruiter. There's no way that I can get enough damage, right? So they just chump block this. 9. They just need 9 of them. So if they had 8, it would be 16 plus... Yeah, if they block with 2, they don't have a lethal crackback. So they're just going to chump block 1. You come up with 9 damage. I don't have any double strike spells in the deck. If your opponent's taking a long time, maybe it's because they punted and they're shamed. See, if I block 1 here, then I'm still taking 18, 21 damage. So I don't think there's any reason to leave it back. Encourage them to block now. That's interesting. All right, so Blazing Crescendo here, or even the Felonious Rage here. Felonious Rage replaces it with a 2/2. Blazing Crescendo just leaves it behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the 16 plus the 3 plus the 1 from the frontliner. But Felonious Rage creates a blocker. So let's do the Blazing Crescendo first. See what we draw. Monstrous Rage is interesting. But I need my dude to die, right? Just so that I can have enough to block next turn. I guess I could have saved the Monstrous Rage. Alright, Case means that they can't do the Emidane's Recruiter. I think I should have saved the Monstrous Rage, because now I'm going to need the Trample to get over the top of what they're leaving back. Alright, I can eat you for free. Land doesn't matter then. And then I can block one of these. I take 8, 10, 12 plus 6 plus the Emidane's Recruiter. Alright. Punted that one away. Alright, I'm going to take a break on that note. Thanks for watching me mess around with the Rakdos Aggro archetype. I think it's a really fun archetype. It's a very coin flippy one though, so sometimes it doesn't go in your favor. We did experience some of the, some tough matchups where, like the Azorius life gain and such, right? It was very difficult for the mono red prowess space. And I'm still not convinced on this one. I feel like Slickshot is better. But I'm going to continue exploring these little things and posting them to YouTube just so you can explore along with me. And again, it's one of those things I don't edit it to only show you the games that I win. I just try to be as honest and straightforward with how the deck is performing, because I appreciate that from content creators, especially when I was early on in Magic the Gathering and I didn't know what to craft. So keep that in mind, that this isn't a deck that's just gonna blow your opponents out of the water. It's a little bit inconsistent at times, but you are eventually going to hit into a streak, and that's been my experience with the deck. So remember to click like and subscribe if you like Magic the Gathering content. I try to produce daily Magic the Gathering videos, and I've got some reviews that I do on Monday, community events I do on Tuesdays, meta breakers that I review on Sundays, and all that fun stuff. So hope you all have a wonderful last season of Outlaws of Thunder Junction before Bloomborough, and I will catch you all tomorrow.